Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. Ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now it's back to the heavyweights. We got our three undefeated champs. Let's put them names out there. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker. Everybody's in negotiations. We say it every couple of days. Well, got some latest news. The promoter of Joseph Parker, David Higgins, said, hey, look, Deontay Wilder is a more superior fighter, a more dangerous fight. He says Anthony Joshua is a much hype and hype and glamour, than substance, things like that. So, negotiations, people talking a little smack now, but it does show you that, Wilder is respected, whether you like it or not, as being dangerous. That's for sure. Joseph Parker's team is actively going for this match. We know that they tried to, went all the way down to 35%. Let's see how it's going to go in negotiations. I thought this was very, very interesting because, he's trying to make sure they get this match now and get to Wilder later. The same thing as we hear from Anthony Joshua. Let's get this match now, but let's get Wilder later. So it looks like I told you guys before, looks like the Joseph Parker Anthony Joshua fight might happen first, especially when you got both sides talking a little bit, and they seem to be up for it. Both sides. David Higgins definitely believes in his boy, right? But so does Eddie Hearn believe in his. So it's going to be going down here, and I think it's on and popping. And when you hear a lot of stuff going on right now with the negotiations, most of the time when you're hearing the Anthony Joshua, you're hearing people they starting to talk about he's filling stadiums and the money he's made because he's filling stadiums. And I'm just thinking, I've said in other videos, England, you filling stadiums over there. Right? You're filling stadiums in England with anybody. We talked about George Groves and your boy Carl Froch with 80,000, and I said Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn Sr. could put about 50,000 somewhere. Let's keep going. Amir Khan ain't won nothing in a long time, man. Still waking up from the Canelo Alvarez versus Kell Brook, with eye socket problems. Both of them, right? They can fight right now without a warm-up fight and fill up a stadium in England. Carl Frampton probably can't even pronounce the name Guillermo Rigondeaux because he don't have to say it, right? But he's over here about to try to fight in the stadium in a minute. You're going to fill some stadiums in England, period. They follow their fighters. That's not really so pertinent unless you're going to just stay over there and we don't care about who the best is. That's what we said before. So, that can't be an argument because at the end of the day, who do we want, the champions to fight? For example, Anthony Joshua, who do we want him to fight? We've got the other champions that are undefeated. We don't want him to fight them. So, then would you want him to fight Luis Ortiz, who's not a champion but dangerous and back after doping issues? Probably don't want him to fight him. So what do you got left? The WBC mandatory was Bermane Stiverne. We've seen what happened to him. He's a bum. So I keep telling you guys, there's really nothing out there. This is another example of it. So it's just good to see that Joseph Parker's team is going to be active and talking. And nowadays, because of the social media, which I don't follow, but I mean, you hear of things in the news as well, and it's coming from social media. Because of that, the guys are irking each other, doing their things. Even Joseph Parker said a little banter on social media is what's probably accelerating the negotiation process. Little things being said, people getting hyped about it, and the fight can happen. And at the end of the day, guys, regardless of what we think and how much somebody should get, this and that, in the heavyweight division, we got about 3 or 4 real good guys that are undefeated. And, they should measure themselves against these guys, right? Because you guys tend to call the rest of them bums anyway. Well, you got 3 guys that are definitely not, and they're undefeated. So let's match them up. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, and I'm out of here, y'all.